Be honest. The first time somebody told you, just call me Sarah, and it was your manager, didn't your Caribbean spirit just whisper, no, sir? At least Miss Sarah?
Or when you showed up to your first interview in full blazer, dress pants, and portfolio in hand, and the interviewer walking with sneakers and hoodie. Talk through it. And you're just there in your head. Saw me overdress?
All right. So today we're talking about culture shock in the workplace, from titles to dress code to hair, tattoos, piercings, especially as Jamaican Caribbean people navigating Canada and North America.
How do you adapt to the culture without losing who you are as you sense or your sense of professionalism?
If you've ever felt out of place in a North American office, this one is for you.
What's up, Elevation Zone TV, the place where faith meets forward motion.
Step into the zone. Step into the zone. Welcome to the zone, yeah, where we rise and grow, yeah. Faith and purpose, watch us overflow, yeah. Level up your mind, spirit and your soul, yeah. Elevation zone, elevation zone.
What's up, Elevation Tribe? Welcome back to the Elevation Zone TV, because growth is the new goal.
I'm Carol.
And I'm Natalie, and today we're unpacking the funny and awkward parts of culture integration, especially at work.
We're talking about the Mr. Miss culture versus first name culture. Mm-hmm. The interview outfits versus the business casual confusion. Hair, tattoos, piercings, what was banned back home in Jamaica but normal here in Canada, and how to adjust without feeling like you're losing yourself.
All right. So we're going to start off with titles. So in Jamaica and a lot of the Caribbean homes, respect would sound like Mr. Brown, Miss Jennifer, Pastor so-and-so. And even if they're just your neighbor from down the road, you have to put on something before their names, right?
So when we came to Canada and people at work said, "Hi, I'm Brian, the director. Just call me Brian." Our brain was like, "Sir, are you sure? You worked too hard, not at least to get a mister, if you know what I mean." It's just culture, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and like in a lot of the Canadian and North American workplaces, the culture is just flat. It's first name basis. Even with senior leaders, it's normal to just use the first name. And it doesn't mean that they're rude, and it doesn't mean that they lack respect, but it's just their norm.
But for us, that's this internal tension. I mean, we're adults. We didn't came here as teens and young persons growing up into the culture. We came to Canada already set in adults, proper adulting and culture, right? So we don't want to seem rude by dropping the title, but we also don't want to seem stiff or too formal for the culture. And I just want to share right here, I remembered when we were in school, and our professor, funny enough, they were Jamaican as well, but they've been in Canada for some time, and we always miss, you know?
Like, no.
And she was like, no.
Call me, and she said her first name.
Yeah. And we looked at each other like, okay, I think that's the first experience, even before the workplace, at school, with our professor just calling our lecturer, professor, or teacher rather, not Miss so-and-so or Sir so-and-so, but just by their first name. So that's where the culture shock began.
And what made it even a little bit harder is because she was Jamaican. So, of course, we're assuming, she know where we're coming from. For those who were born here, like, it wasn't so bad, but for her it was like a big thing, and she was the program coordinator as well, so she wasn't just our professor. So that took a while.
So Elevation Tribe, comment below, did you grow up saying Mr. or Miss and a last name, or just first names in your house? Because it's culture, but People are different either way. So, yeah.
All right. So now we're going to talk about some of the things that we learned. Like if someone introduces themselves like, hi, I'm Sarah, where we honor their preference and say Sarah at work, but we can still show respect in the tone or attitude and just how we speak to them.
Yes.
So respect is a little more than a title, but it's how you listen, how you disagree, how you handle feedback, so to speak.
Yes. All right. And then let's talk about the interview stress. All right. So back home, you go to an interview in a proper suit. Blazer, a jacket, closed-toe shoes, your hair laid back. You know the works. Let me say you don't know the Schweppes. You understand?
Yes.
And everything press out, iron out. You're nice. Can you go interview? Nobody have to ask. They see you on the street. They know you're either already working or you're going to an interview. It's just that setting. Because culturally, that's how you say, I'm serious. I respect this opportunity. I am showing up boldly.
So, imagine we show up in Canada like that. And the hiring manager walks in and the hiring manager is in jeans or a cardigan, dress, sandals. And they're like, hey, thanks for coming. Culture shock because you're well dressed. Look at the hiring manager.
The interviewee.
No, let's be clear. There are industries here in Canada, North America, so to speak, where suits are still the norm.
Yes.
Like, maybe in finance or law or certain corporate roles. But in a lot of the offices, the default is business casual and sometimes very casual.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes. We had to learn it's okay to be slightly more polished than them for the interview. But once you get the job, it's wise to read the room.
That's true.
So you don't want to go to work showing up every day in jacket and tie or shirt and tie.
Or joggers.
And you just have to know. You just have to know. So once you get integrated and immersed into the company's culture, you will adapt to that dress code of the culture of the company, and you not overdo it and you not underdo it either. Yeah, so
true. So the tip would be, you see, on day one, dress just one notch above what you think the minimum is, and then as Carl said, you adjust and you observe. You go from there.
Yeah,
right.
And remember, we're not saying that professional doesn't always mean formal. It means appropriate for the environment, for the setting.
Yeah.
Right?
You would not go in a shorts, not because it's casual.
Right.
Right. So read the room.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next part. All right. So we're going to touch the hair, tattoos, and piercings.
All right. So this is our experience. I don't know if maybe things have changed. Years have passed. I've learned that a lot of the government industries, even in Jamaica, are a lot more flexible.
No.
So, but based on experience in Jamaica, especially in the government or the traditional sectors, there's long been this idea that hair must be a certain color and style. Like you don't wear a certain color. Like for me personally, my real hair, my natural hair, is orange. Like
this braid wouldn't do with the red.
Yeah, like it's orange. I don't see myself doing my hair color like that back home. As a teacher who I was back home, and I probably look like these Lego somebody when I have anything about me.
True.
You understand? That's how we're judged, right? But here I have the freedom and liberation to wear my hair color and all of that jazz. Also, tattoos must be covered, especially in certain security industries, law enforcement. I know you may have them, but they cannot be visible.
Right, that's it.
Right? And extra piercings. I recently saw a comment on Facebook where somebody was saying they have multiple piercings, but they're only allowed. In Jamaica, they're in government only to wear one. So it's still a thing in certain cultures.
Yeah. So my 2 piercings could not work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But guess what? In Canada and in many North American workplaces, seeing someone with natural hair locks, braids, bright colors, visible tattoos, even nose rings. It's normal. And again, it's not everywhere, but far more accepted than back home.
Yes. So there's that inner conflict. I don't want them feel me unprofessional, you know? But you're also seeing people show up fully themselves and still leading teams, presenting, being respected. They have the big tattoo on them foot, on their arms. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's just normal.
Yeah, it's just normal. And one of the questions that we had is like, how do we honor our culture of neatness and excellence, but also step into the freedom to show up as ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're supposed to totally eradicate what you know, because it's hard even as adults to kind of change every single thing.
That's true.
It's your norm, right? We landed here. We keep it neat. We keep it clean. We understand the industry expectations, and don't be afraid to express yourself through your identity with that. It doesn't mean that you have to go and get a tattoo now because it's the norm.
accepted.
You still have your thing, but you know that there is a little flexibility.
True.
Yeah.
And you can have your natural hair, your braids, your locks, and you can wear your color. And if the environment allows, you can still be the most prepared, the most competent, the most professional in the room.
Yes, yes. So let's zoom out a bit. And the goal isn't to say Canada right, Caribbean wrong.
Nah.
Because I know sometimes when I watch these things, you know, leave with their own thing.
True.
Both cultures have strengths. And the Caribbean often brings respect, discipline, and a polished version. It is what it is. North America often brings openness, informality, and flexibility.
That's true. And our job as immigrants or children of immigrants is to learn how to blend.
Yeah.
Take the best of both.
Yes.
And we can be respectful and warm, and we can be professional and authentic at the same time.
And you don't have to erase your accent,
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Listen to me. Listen.
They're gonna know.
I get complimented so much when I had meetings. Oh, your English is so well. You're so well spoken. You're so eloquent.
Yeah.
I don't need to put an accent on for them to understand me. Our native language is the English language.
Exactly.
So for some of us as Jamaicans, even for myself, I am cognizant that I do speak fast. So what I do when I come into rooms like this, I am conscious. So I speak a little bit slower than the norm because I do have an accent, and just to ensure that there's no great communication barrier with the speed of my language to kind of distort what I'm saying. So don't overly put on these accents, and not necessary. You don't have to pretend you didn't grow up saying morning, good morning, miss. People admire that. You say good morning in the elevators, they don't respond, but it's a part of you. Keep doing it.
That was culture shock for me.
Yeah. Keep doing that. I tell my kids, say good morning. And it's the biggest flex, my kids would say, from the teachers when I go to them. Oh, they're so mannerable. They say miss. They say good morning. Because it's not the norm here.
Right.
But it's something that we have embedded in them.
Yeah. It's
You can adapt to the first names, the casual Fridays, and still carry your Caribbean flavor and values. You know, wear your little pumps and your little heels and your little blazer. Cute it up.
cute. Well cute. So, all right, let's get super practical. All right? Here are a few tips if you're navigating this culture shift at work. First one, you're going to ask, don't assume. You want to expound?
If you're unsure, you can simply say, what do people normally call you at work? Or, what's the dress code like here? More business or more casual? People appreciate the question more than the awkwardness.
That's true. And the second thing you can do is observe the unspoken rules.
Unspoken rules, that's big.
Take the first week to just watch and learn.
Yeah.
How do people speak to
leadership?
How do they dress Monday versus on a Friday? How do they wear their hair? And then decide where you feel comfortable within that range.
Yes. And for yourself, as we are in between struggling the conflict, right? keep one thing non-negotiable. Choose one thing that you're not willing to lose about yourself. Maybe that's your natural hair. Or saying good morning when you enter a room. Or your standard of neatness. Hold that as your anchor while you adjust other things along the way.
Yeah. And another thing that you could do, you could find other immigrants or diaspora at work, and if you can connect with at least one other person who understands this immigrant experience, because they can help you decode certain things like what's normal here, what's not, what's actually a red flag in this culture versus where your culture you're coming from.
Right. So, Elevation Tribe, we want to hear from you, as per usual.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with the Mr. or Miss culture? Have you ever felt overdressed or out of place at a Canadian or North American job? Or even probably in Jamaica still. Maybe some companies are a little bit more flexible than some.
Yeah.
And some of you are still wearing the stocking and the shoes. We don't know. How do you navigate it? How did you navigate it?
Yeah, so drop your stories in the comments below. Title shock if the first name thing threw you off, or the wardrobe shock if the dress code surprised you, or the hair shock if you had to rethink what professional looks like. Yeah.
Your story might make someone else feel less alone and more confident at work tomorrow, because you're saying, hey, I want somebody on YouTube and they talk about this.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So here's our encouragement to you. You're not too much for where you came from, and you're not too stiff for where you are now. You're learning, you're adapting, you're evolving. You know, growth is the new goal.
Of course. So your culture is not a liability, people. It's an asset. Own it. As long as you let it grow with you, instead of fighting against where God has placed you. Like, you can't fight being a Jamaican.
That is true.
It is what it is.
It's in your blood. So, if you loved this one, go ahead. Like, subscribe, share with another Caribbean or an immigrant. Yeah, trying to figure out the workplace culture here in Canada or anywhere else in North America.
All right. Yeah. This is the Elevation Zone TV, because growth is the new goal. See you soon.
Bye. Ready? I am ready, and I was born ready. Right.
We shall rise again. We shall rise and spread our wings once again. We shall rise again. With the help from our brothers and our friends. We shall rise again. We've done it before, now we can do it once again. We shall rise again. Little bit of help from our family and friends.
A moment of change and now it's spinning. No warning is sent, no